Yay Media Group.
You posted that thing the other day about like smashing bodies together.
Oh yeah, our fat bodies.
And I never really read the comments.
Somebody said about...
I slurped.
That,
but the way they said it, I didn't appreciate and I blocked them.
Hey guys, episode 218. I feel like we're American Eagle catalog. Abercrombie?
Do you want to go to the Gap?
Oh, I love the Gap. I think it's all gone.
I was going to say, when was the last time you were at the Gap?
Because there aren't any. I never see any here. I used to love Baby Gap.
Oh, yeah.
In Santa Monica, they had the best. Well, I felt like in California has a lot of better shopping than here. But there was one right down the street from our apartment, and I used to walk to it, and they had the best stuff.
Oh, in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. What's up? How is it going?
Okay, so what is today? Thursday. Today's Thursday. We're recording. Saturday is Valentine's Day. Today, I'm wearing my pink. I had to go to the boys' school. It was their Valentine's Day parties, and I'm so awkward at those because I just stand there and I don't really know what to do, and I don't know how to like talk to the kids.
What do you mean? You're just like, yay, what's up, buddy?
You try to go. You would probably be so awkward too.
Well, they don't care really about you either.
Well, let me get into this whole story. Okay, I have to tell y'all, I mean, it's never a dull moment over here. So I have to tell you what happened last night. I didn't even tell Riley, our producer, because I was like, she's going to think I'm lying and thank God we did not have to record last night because she would have probably thought I was lying and trying to get out of recording. So Jeff poisoned me.
I didn't.
Okay. Before I picked up the boys from school, I ate something. There was leftover soup and I was starving and I just got the meat out. I didn't want the broth. So I just drained and got this meat. It was rotisserie chicken and beef, right?
Okay, let me start to begin. It was leftovers that Jordan cooked. So I just make soup out of everything. Whenever I cook on the weekend, I have leftovers and I make soup. And I'm usually the only one that eats leftovers.
Normally I don't eat leftovers, but I was really hungry and I needed protein because I do like small little portions and I always try to meet my protein goal by the end of the day. Continue.
Yeah. So I just made soup out of like all the leftovers. Well, I put it in this container in the fridge. And it was in this big container. And we have so much stuff in our fridge from like the kids, all this other stuff if I'm cooking during the week. So I actually forgot about it. You tell your story first. Because when you called me, I was like, ooh.
Okay. I eat it. And then I go and get the kids, I think 45 minutes later, an hour later, I leave the house to go pick them up from school. So I'm in carpool. And I'm like, man, I'm starting to not feel good. But I felt really good today. I worked out. I don't know why I wouldn't be feeling good, but I keep burping up that meat that I ate. So I was like, oh, whatever. I don't know. And then we get home and Jeff gets home and I'm like, man, I am really not feeling good. So I tell Jeff, hey, I'm going to go upstairs and lay down for a minute. I almost feel like I'm going to vomit. So I go upstairs, I'm laying down and I'm just turned something on to distract my mind. But all I kept thinking of was the vomit. I was like, it's coming. I know it's coming. And then I start feeling kind of cold.
That's the worst.
So I get in the shower to warm up. And then I'm in the shower and I'm like, I'm vomit. It's coming. My mouth is watering. I throw up in not in the toilet. I had a barf bag. So I threw up that first time in the barf bag. I was laughing because I thought of all you guys because of what happened the last time.
I'll be happy to say if I could jump in here. I didn't see a barf bag.
You didn't. I tied it up and I took it down to the trash. He did not see a barf bag. I didn't lay it outside. I take it out. I put it in the trash. I'm about to walk inside and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's coming. I mean, projectile, just that hard where it hurts so bad, your chest and my throat. And I was just wanting to cry and just kept going. All the chicken, all the meat, everything, vomiting. And then I was like, okay, I feel better. It's gone. And then my stomach starts cramping up. Bathroom, the other thing. Then I start vomiting again. And I try to call Jeff because I was like, he needs to bring me ice. I need ice. He didn't answer his phone. I don't know where you were.
I was working out.
You were doing push-ups, you said. So then he calls me after I vomit again. And then you bring me up something. And you're like, are you okay? I was like, you poisoned me. But I asked him, I go, was that soup? Well, how long was that soup? And you go, you don't want to know.
No, I'm like, it's not bad. Don't worry. It was just from, it's fine. Don't worry. But in my head, I was like, oh my God, you ate that soup?
But it didn't smell. It actually tasted good. I was like, oh, I would have more. And now I don't think I can eat chicken for a long time. Like today, I hadn't ate since 2:30 yesterday. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get something in my stomach. I'm starving. And I can't think of anything that I want or sound good. So I got a sandwich. I look at the sandwich and see the turkey. I had took all the turkey off and just ate it like a BLT. Yeah. But anyways, so when I was throwing up, Lawson and Layton come up and they're like, you can't come to my class party tomorrow. And they're crying. I'm like, no. I'm not sick. I just ate something bad. This bad soup your dad made. I'm never eating it again. And they were like, Dad made bad soup? I go, yes.
I didn't make bad soup. I know.
It was just old.
Yeah.
But the boys were crying. And then I wanted to cry because then I felt bad. And I was going to tell Jeff, because his work told him anyways, you need to cut back your hours. So I was like about to tell you to call out of work and go to their class parties if I was still vomiting.
I would have.
Because I felt so bad. And it's so hard sometimes being a mom because you just feel like all the weight is on you. Like I was like, I can't disappoint these kids. I'm like, even if I'm shitting my pants, I'm going to show up to the school. If I was vomiting, I wouldn't. But if the other, I could manage.
You could shit your pants at school.
But I was at the class party today and I felt like my eyes looked like bloodshot. Like I had gotten, I felt like my eyes looked like I was hungover today. Like I had been drinking. That's what I felt just from going and just not feeling good. And what's up? What's up?
All right. Keep going, love.
Okay. We got to finish this. So where was I at? Oh, in the classroom, I'm in there and I started getting really hot and my stomach started getting tight and crampy. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. Please just don't throw up in front of all these parents. Do not vomit. So I stepped out of the class for a second and I was just chugging my water. And then I felt bad.
But you seem like you're back now.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back now. I ate something. I did get a Coke and I can't eat anything tonight. I'm good.
I had stuff to barbecue yesterday. But then I saved it for today.
You know how I knew when Jeff came home from the store? I asked him to pick me up chicken salad from Sprouts because I like their stuff. And when Jeff took out his chicken salad, it looked gross to me. And that's how I knew.
I eat that for lunch.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you guys got to go upstairs.
All right, let's take a break. Our kids, I don't know what's happening, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome to Nowadays No Hangover Club. And you know the first rule of Nowadays No Hangover Club?
No hangover, no bloat, and no regrets.
That's right. I actually drank some of my Nowadays for the Super Bowl.
You love them.
I don't want to drink anymore. And at my age, I probably shouldn't. And that's why I drink Nowadays because like I said, there's no hangover. There's zero sugar in there.
You have a nice buzz.
And I could get things done the next day.
I think that's everybody our age these days.
So if you don't know about Nowadays, it's a zero proof THC infused drink. I love them. I can control how many milligrams I have because I don't want to do too much. I just use it to relax at night or if I want to be social when people are drinking. There's so many different ways. They have flavored drinks, which the flavors are terrific. They have little daily doses if you're into something like that. I just do the straight seltzer water ones and I mix it up with some ice. I enjoy it. I still have a good time. I'm social. But the biggest part is no hangover in the morning.
Because fun shouldn't come with a cost.
That's right. Welcome to the upgrade. Welcome to Nowadays. It's a product I actually use, and you should too.
Visit trynowadays.com/togetherness to get 30% off your order. That's trynowadays.com/togetherness or use code Togethermess at checkout. Store locator. Drink responsibly. Must be 21 or older. What's that about?
All right. I have no idea.
Welcome back. I don't even know if my story made sense. My kids, I don't even know why they came down here. They never come down here, but they want to have a conversation.
They're excited. So they just got done. They're on break. So I don't know why they have tomorrow off, which is Friday. And then they have Monday off for President's Day.
Yes. And you got to work.
I got to work tomorrow. But then we're right from work, we're driving up to the mountains. So we'll have definitely some more stories because always something. Let me knock on.
Oh, gosh. Don't even start that.
Well, there's a couple families going up there.
There's like five families going. We do this every single year. We go tubing. We go up to the mountains. I wasn't sure we were going to have any snow because it's just been very warm here. But we're actually supposed to get snow tomorrow wherever we're going. We're going to up by Winter Park.
Yeah, we're going up to Winter Park, but they make their own snow. When we say like go up to the mountains, we're going to be in the mountains, but we don't do like skiing and stuff.
We're not skiers. We're like the only people in Colorado that don't ski.
I know, but the inner tubing's fun because you're in the mountains. You feel cool.
You feel cool. Everybody's just drinking and having fun. And I love it because the two people that are going with us, one's a nurse practitioner and one's an emergency nurse. So if anything's wrong, we're covered.
Yeah, it's good. It'll be a good time. So I'm excited. So the kids are excited. They're probably all hopped up on their candy from Valentine's Day. So they just did that. So they're just excited to start the weekend. That's what's up.
And they're excited about going to the mountains. Anytime we go on a trip, Lawson pulls out his mini suitcase and they pack stuff that like we wouldn't even normally use.
Yeah, they were excited.
They pack like a journal. I'm like, why do you have a journal? You're not going to be journaling anything.
Don't even get me started. I just had a talk with Leighton about a spelling test.
I talked to Leighton's teacher at pickup. Leighton doesn't care. I don't know what to do with this kid. He does not care at all. I try to work with him with the spelling. He just doesn't care.
But you just gotta find a different direction.
I do.
Like he gets motivated with like prizes, you know what I mean? Or like food or candy or whatever it is.
Well, he's going to be mad when his iPad's taken away.
And that was so now you got to start taking things away to get him motivated because he can't just be like, oh, I did this. Let's get candy. No. First of all, I don't like all the candy anyway, all that sugar. They're kids. It's fine. Get crazy. Do what you want. But to a certain extent, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I'm listening. I thought you were going to keep going.
Well, you want me to go on a rant about sugar? In the food pyramid?
No, about our kid not caring.
No, well, I'm not going to. Everyone's got problems with their kids.
Lawson, at least, would be like, he gets disappointed that if he does bad and he's sad about it. And then I'm like, we'll work on it. And he tries. That's all I ask is that you try. Leighton's just like, I don't know, Mom. These words are hard. And I'm like, okay, we're going to go over it. We're going to keep doing it.
Because why would he try if he's on his iPad, he's got candy wrappers all around him. Life's grand for him. He's living like a King
He just
Tut.
has candy wrappers today because at school they had their Valentine's exchange.
Right, but you got to start taking things away to motivate him. But Lawson is fine. And it's not about taking things away or giving things. It's, it's just kind of a motivator, which isn't working. But Lawson is learning now because he's a little bit older that if I try, and it's with sports too. It comes with sports or it comes with anything that you're in an activity with other people. It doesn't have to be sports. It's if I'm putting in my best, I'm going to be better. And if I'm trying better at spelling and math, I do better on my tests. He sees it because he's failed and then he's got 100.
Right.
So it's just about finding that groove and like, hey, give me 10 minutes, man. Give me 10 minutes after school. And I want them to be better than I was, And if I tried or applied myself, and I didn't really learn that till like my senior year in college. And I'm like, senior year of high school. And I'm like, I got in some trouble and I was like, what am I doing? And then when you go to college, the teachers are like, listen, man, you pass or fail. I don't care. And they pack their little bag and they're out of there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wow, they don't care. It's up to me now, and my parents aren't there. I'm living, on campus now. So it's like you learn lessons along the way. But I'm like, if I just gave 15 minutes a day, that's kind of like anything, like a life lesson. If you want to do something or be better at something, start just a little bit a day. Go for a walk for 15 minutes, then you start working out for an hour and a half, whatever it is. Read a book for 15 minutes. If you want to improve with that. So I want him to learn that lesson. Like, listen, it doesn't take a lot out of my day. I'm just going to give a little bit and you get a lot in return,
It's true. I mean, I didn't try when I was younger.
I think the word I'm looking for is discipline.
Yeah.
It's just a little discipline.
I think some kids just have it and some don't. And
well, some kids are born, right? I mean, It's anything. Some people are born with metabolisms and they have 6-packs till they're 60. I hate them. You know what I mean? Some kids are, I always was in the bluebird. I was the robin class and
the robin?
The dumb class. And then the bluebirds were like all the smart kids. You know what I mean?
That's how are you making that up? Or was
I think
really
it was, I don't know if the birds are correct, but it was something like that.
It wasn't like AG class or AP.
I remember birds, and I wasn't an attractive bird, and I was like,
I say this all the time. You are smart. You downplay it. I mean, Scott, your middle brother, is extremely smart. He's like your dad. You're like a different type of smart. You're smart.
Yeah, but I wish I picked that up earlier on. I didn't start till later in my life because I didn't care. Just like Leighton, I didn't care, and I was the third child. So I'm sure my parents cared a little less, not that they didn't care or didn't discipline me or didn't do anything.
Oh,
it was
Peyton?
it was my own fault.
Peyton
it wasn't
could
my
get
parents'
away
fault.
with anything. Peyton didn't care. And I mean, he was the baby and my mom was just like, oh, whatever, because she was struggling with
You're
me
tired
and my
of
sister.
it, And I'm not saying that's what happened at all. My parents raised me right. I just did bad things. And unfortunately, my path, I had to learn from all the bad things I've done to finally learn my way and learn, like, what am I doing? So I learned, it's kind of like when you're young and if you have bilingual parents, like everybody in my neighborhood spoke Italian. I'm like, man, how do you speak Italian? And they're just like, I don't know. My parents taught me when I was young. They don't even remember. They just like instilled in them because their parents taught them young, Mm-hmm. And then I asked my mom later on, teach me Italian. But then that takes discipline to sit down and learn how the language. And I didn't have it, But it's kind of like.
Did your grandma only speak Italian to you guys or no?
Pronto.
That's how she answered?
Yeah.
That means hello?
Yeah.
Aww.
I still could hear her voice. Pronto. But yeah. Pronto. But yeah, so the point I'm making is like teach your kids young, like discipline in the right path so they don't have to go through. Of course, you can't control everything your kids do. Like we're talking like we're giving advice on like the best parenting.
We're like the least people to give advice, but we're giving
our kids are upstairs swinging from the chandeliers right now. But
we're giving real advice. Like everybody goes through this. Like everybody pretends like their kid's the best and the smartest and doing all this stuff. And we're over here like, yeah, our kid doesn't even care. And
no, but it's not even about kids. You could apply it to anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you practice
in basketball now.
Yeah, but he learned, but now that's the best thing for him. So we just put Leighton, our youngest one that we're talking about, in basketball. And in the beginning, he didn't care. He didn't know how to dribble. He didn't even know what a rebound was. But we're like, you're playing something. You're playing a sport. You're going to get in art class. You're going to get in dance class, whatever it is. I don't care what you do. You're getting in something that you have to go to at a certain time, which learns punctuality and things like that. And it's just good to instill that in your kids so you have that later on. And it's good for anybody to learn that kind of discipline. Like if I want to be better at something, I got to put in a little extra time. Like I'm terrible at the prompter. So I went early and read the prompter and did whatever it is. You could apply it to whatever. Just put a little extra effort in each day and it'll add up and you'll be successful, or at least better than you started, and you're not saying you're going to be whoever at the end of it, but it's those little things along the way, little successes.
Yeah. Little steps. Little steps.
Oh,
Can we talk about...
Thanks for breaking that down.
So last night I was... Jeff gets so annoyed with me.
Hold on, I'm going to take it. By the way, I'm going to take a drink. Let me move this mic. You posted that thing the other day about like smashing bodies together.
Oh yeah, our fat bodies.
And I never really read the comments.
Oh, somebody said about...
I slurped.
That,
but the way they said it, I didn't appreciate and I blocked them.
that person always writes negative comments.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
always.
I blocked them anyway.
Yeah.
But I was like, do I slurp? That's annoying if the audience hears that. So I'm not going to do that anymore.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't like slurping or smacking.
But the way she wrote or he...
It doesn't matter what we do. Somebody's going to say something.
Anyways, go on with your story.
I hate you, Jeff, according to some people. I did hate Jeff last night, though. At one time. Well, you poisoned...
Last night?
Yeah, so he poisoned me.
You were cranky pants.
No, I wasn't. Well, what do you think? I'm shitting and vomiting. You think I'm
that's
gonna be in a good
fine.
mood?
So I took the kids. I worked out.
Okay, hang on. I am very, very strict. I told you guys about routine, about bedtime. You're so annoying. What am I saying? Okay. I am very like 8:30 bedtime. Okay. When my kids do not go to bed at 8:30, they wake up the next day and they are gripey and I have to keep them on a routine and I do bedtime. I've always done bedtime with them since they were babies. Jeff does not. Okay. Well, last night, and I feel like this is such like what my friends' husbands would do. Instead, their bedtime's 8:30. He starts playing video games with them. And then they play video games and then they're hyper. And then they don't want to go to bed. And then it was 9:30 and they weren't asleep. So I start screaming at Jeff. I'm like, it's time for them to go to bed. What are you doing? You know their bedtime's like 8:30. And then you got mad at me for yelling at you. And then I told the kids like 10 times to put on their PJs and no one's listening because everybody is like glued to playing video games. And I know you were just bonding with them and entertaining them, but I'm like, do that at 7:00. Do that at like 6:30. Don't do that at 8:00 when it's around bedtime.
Like I've talked about in the past, there's only so many hours in the day and so many cups you could fill with all your energy. So I worked late yesterday. I got home and I'm like, I got to get a workout in. So I worked out. You're shitting your pants. And I'm like, I told the kids, like, play outside. I got my ring on. I'll keep an eye on you. When it gets dark, you got to come in and come downstairs and work out with me. So I cooked them, cooked them dinner, whatever. And I got done working out and I feel bad because I'm not around all the time. I'm gone before they even wake up. And then I get back late in the day. So Lawson's always like, oh, can we play our Madden football season? So I spent some time with him. And then Leighton comes in. He's like, can I play Madden with you guys? And Lawson gets mad because it's our time. So I'm like, here, buddy, come play with us.
And then they start fighting.
No. And then I calmed it down and we finished our game. And then Leighton's like, let's play that adventure game from my old PlayStation that's in his room. Yes, so we started that adventure game that he likes. So we're sitting in Leighton's room and I'm giving him some time and everyone was calm. And I'm like, all right, your mom's sleeping. Just leave her alone.
No, I gave you a warning time. I said, hey, they need to be done in like 20 minutes. And you're like, okay.
Okay.
And then you don't think later. And then I'm like, Jeff, they have to be in bed. And then
it was 8:15.
No, it wasn't. It was 9:30.
No, you're lying.
No, it's not.
We were done by 9.
I text my friend.
You're lying. We were done by 9.
No. I'll tell you to prove. No, you weren't. It was 9:30. Why do you think I was mad? It was not 8:30. And I know because I text my friend because I was so mad.
Listen, you ever watch The Godfather? Keep that shit in-house. You don't need to text your friend that I'm bonding with my children.
I text her at 9:11.
Exactly.
It was 9:11.
And you exaggerate time?
No, I didn't.
When the sun goes down, you think it's midnight.
No, if I don't do, Mondays, I let them have, they don't have to do spelling, homework, anything like that on Mondays because Leighton has basketball and I let them that's their free day where they don't have to do any homework, any spelling. Then the rest of the week, I have it all timed, like days like, okay, Lawson's spelling test is on Thursdays, Tuesday, Wednesday.
All right, you got a schedule.
Yes, I have a schedule. And then, yeah, I don't know.
And you're mad that I disrupted your schedule. That's what that's what this boils down to.
Yes. And I'm a control freak. And
all right, but it's not like we do that every night. I play video games with him once a week. You know what I mean? So it's all right. Everything's going to be okay. And you are having an episode, meaning both ends. So I was spending time with the kids. What do you want me to do?
I just would like it to be when they go to bed.
We weren't drinking beers in there.
Oh, what happened to that Broncos chair?
I think someone popped it. Yeah. I think there's a little hole in there.
Really? He just got that for Christmas.
I don't know. Life is hard, love. Let's take a break. Let's take a breather. Everybody take a breather. We were up until 9:11 yesterday. So let's take a breather. Everybody relax, regroup, and we'll be back. All right, everybody. If you know me or listen to this podcast, you know I love to cook, but with 2 kids, a busy schedule, I don't really have time to cook every single day of the week. And that's where HelloFresh comes into play.
I just put in our HelloFresh order, and I love that you can choose. There's over 100 recipes that you can choose from.
Right. And I'm more of a Mediterranean guy. I don't know why. Every time I eat out, I get Mediterranean.
I just ordered 2 Mediterranean meals, so you're going to be very happy.
Yeah, so that's what we like. But there's something for everybody, and HelloFresh makes it so easy that even Jordan could do it.
Choose from more than 35 high-protein recipes each week, including new Mediterranean and GLP-1 friendly options. Feel great with wholesome ingredients like sustainably sourced seafood and 100% antibiotic and hormone-free chicken. There's now more than 3 times the seafood options with no upcharge. Because when dinner tastes this good, nothing hits like home cooking.
Go to HelloFresh.com/Togethermess10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free Zwilling knife, a $144.99 value on your 3rd box.
Offer valid while supplies last. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan.
All right, we're back. Oh, man, I don't know how we're doing this podcast that we're up till 9:11 yesterday. Jeez Louise.
Well, I go to bed by 10:30, and me and you normally I was watching Homeland.
And that's
last
another
night.
thing. Then I have to, so then when I do
not make you watch anything.
By the time I get home, I have to spend time with the kids, or I have to work out. Then the whole time I'm working out, I feel guilty because I'm not spending time with the family, but I need a little Big Jeff time. And then I try to hurry up. I get upstairs, shower, try to play with the kids, and then Jordan puts the kids away.
Moms don't even have free time either. I'm either with you or with the kids.
What are you doing while the kids are at school all day?
I'm always running
Jordan
around.
time.
No, I'm always running around and doing errands. And then when I get home. But
that's still your time. That's still time by yourself. Time,
but I get my stuff done. I'm always it's not like I'm laying on the couch doing nothing. I'm constantly out.
I didn't say that at all.
And then 5 o'clock is when I'm just like, oh my gosh, finally I can sit down and take a breather for a second. And then me and you talk and we kind of catch up for our days. We do.
I know.
And then the boys, I'm like, go upstairs and shower and things like that. And whatever. I'm not arguing. I'm tired. So we're going to switch the subject. What else are we going to talk about?
Dang.
Because me and you are just going to keep going back and forth.
Well, I'm just trying to give you my side of the story.
Some of our friends text us and they were like, we're drinking. Do y'all want to come meet us? And I go, no, we're recording. Everybody's crazy. All right, do the cards.
What are you talking about?
What?
We just came back from break.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh.
What's your story that you wanted to talk about that we got interrupted for?
What story?
You pulled up your phone and said you had something to talk about.
Oh, no. I was just talking about how I got sick and things like that. I was just talking about things going on in our life. I do. Y'all, are y'all still following Savannah Guthrie's mom's case? That is so wild to me that they still can't find her. It's just a mystery. It's like she just disappeared.
I think we'll eventually find out what happened, but I'm like,
do you think she's alive?
Unfortunately, no ill will, and I don't. I don't, because she's a little bit older. I heard she needed medication. I'm not hip to this whole story and all the details because I don't think we know anything. And I think people are just running with the story and it's getting attention now. And then again, just like anything, I don't listen anymore. I don't trust the news. I don't trust anything anymore. I don't trust that people know what.
Well, now there's conspiracy theories about her kidnapping. I'm like, people have gone bananas.
Yeah, I
saying
don't.
Because Savannah interviewed Jeffrey Epstein victims or something.
That's another thing. I used, not that I loved talking about Epstein, but that was like my favorite conspiracy theory. Just like if he killed himself or didn't. And obviously everybody know that people went to that island and did what they did. And now it's like, it's so oversaturated and nobody's accused of anything because everybody's accused of everything. So it muddied the waters with who was really there and who did what with who. Now the waters are so muddied and it got so political on both sides. And it's like, it's just, I don't know what's true or what's not anymore.
I know.
You know, and it's now this story just took off and nobody knows what's happening except it's front page except nobody reads a newspaper, but whatever you get your news, that's what everybody's talking about.
This is, like I said, Thursday when we're recording this. So my mom called me today and said that they found a glove. A person, I guess, but that doesn't mean anything.
I don't even know what's the story with this glove. What happened?
I think it's the person who cut the wire or cut the cameras. It's that whatever glove.
Like an OJ glove was left behind?
I don't know. She just said there was a glove. And I was like, well, have they said anything else about it? I still think, and I could be totally wrong, okay? I still think it's the brother-in-law. I kind of think the brother-in-law and almost the sister-in-law. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I just feel like we take the humanity out of stories now and it just becomes a story. Like it's like we're watching a Netflix show and there's no humanity in it. And that's somebody's mom and somebody's friend and grandkid.
I think there's so much bad out there and there's so much like murder and things like this happening that everybody's, and just like shootings, we're just so used to it that you don't get facts anymore, even about shootings. Yeah. It's like there's shootings all the time and like 10 kids are dead because of a shooting and somehow it becomes political, you know? And it's like, what the fuck are we talking about, man? 10 kids are dead. We're not talking about the 10 kids anymore. Like it's becoming a political weapon about what that, I don't know. It drives me crazy that the people get stabbed, people get shot, terrible things happen, and everything's a political spin to help the other side's political party. I don't know. Maybe we just know too much. It's just too much.
That's why I don't know anything. Well, I don't know what to believe anymore, which turns me off to the whole thing. So I don't look at it and I'm not interested. It's kind of like the comments that I just happened to peek into and see that the other day because there was only like 12 comments. So I looked and I thought it was funny, that video of us.
You can always click on it and see, and then it gives you like a list of everything they say.
But I don't look, and I swear, and if I find myself like at work and there's like a break or something and I'm like, I pull up Instagram, I literally like go, what am I doing? In 2 seconds, I go, what am I doing? And just put my phone down because unless you're aware of it, you have no idea how much it affects your personal life and personal day. When you're fighting and yelling at strangers that you have no idea who they are through a device, if you really sit down and think about it, it's insane. Like I'm not talking to my family anymore, or I saw that's craziness. And taking these sides for things like, I don't know how politics became so big that they're ruining families. You know, I look at politics like the Bears. It's like, oh man, we lost this week. We won last week. At least the Bears are my team. I don't even have a political team. But then it doesn't even matter if you're playing that game or not. People just put you in this box and automatically they're like, you believe in God? Oh, you like Trump? I'm like, what are you talking about? You know? And I'm like, you give your opinion on abortion. Oh, you're this person? No, man, I'm just talking. What do you mean? And then they're like, well, here's how you are. You lean this way in this division and you're financially this. And I'm like, What are you, an astrologer? What do you mean? I just told you I don't have a political team. I think it's all goofy. But then somehow you're just pigeonholed into, I don't know. It's just, if you really sit back and think about everything and then bringing in Savannah Guthrie's mom, she's not even someone's mom anymore. It's like, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's just, I don't know. It's just craziness.
Well, I hope they find her.
Me too.
I hope it's...
And I hope I
hope it's not anybody in the family. And I hope she's alive. And I don't know. She needs her medicine though. So that's so sad. I hope.
Well, we got off on a tangent there. See, I'd rather just argue with you than the whole world. For real.
What else do you want to argue about? Is there anything I did get a vacuum, you guys. I got a new vacuum. So that's a plus. What are you? I didn't get a house cleaner. I got a vacuum.
I didn't say anything.
I saw that look.
That look was more like production reasons. Like, where are you going with this?
Well, do you have
a vacuum story?
No, Jeff put it together. Well, I tried. So I did buy this one vacuum that everyone told me, I did a poll on Instagram. And so I got it. And it's kind of like multi-use. You can use it for like everything. I've only had the thing for like 5 months. 6 months? And I took it apart. I could not figure out what was wrong. And I told Jeff, I said, isn't there a vacuum store? Like, I remember when my mom's vacuum broke, you took it to a vacuum store. And he goes, I don't even think there's one anymore. There aren't any.
No.
So you got to figure it out yourself. And they make them to only last a year or two. And then they break, and then you buy another one. The vacuum cleaner that my mom had, she got in 1986. And I think that vacuum cleaner just died when I was like 30.
Yeah,
it lasted that long. I forgot what kind, but if you saw it, you would crack up because my grandma had a matching one.
Did it have the bag that went?
It did have a bag.
Really?
And it had like the hose part, and then you clipped it in, but you had to carry it along with you. It was like the old 80s looking ones. And my mom, every time it messed up, like the wire, she would take it to the vacuum guy. He knew my mom, and it was right by where the salon I used to work at, the hair salon. And I don't even think they have anything like that. So I would have taken that vacuum. I had Jeff do it because you're better than me. Because I was like, maybe you can figure it out what I'm messing up. And you were like, okay, it's messed up. It's gone.
I took it all apart. I tried.
I know.
I'm not like I'm a vacuum salesman.
Yeah, but normally you're really good at, you will sit there for hours until you figure it out. Because one of our friends was laughing. They go, what is Jeff doing? I go, he's trying to fix my vacuum right now. But I mean, it didn't it sound like something was sucking up in there?
I don't know.
It would work at first, and then it would break. But anyways, I got a new vacuum cleaner, and it's cordless, so I'm very excited.
You know what? All right, we're going to end this if people are still listening, which I wouldn't be. If you're speaking of vacuum stores, and I don't know why I just thought about this.
What?
Remember there was a yogurt store at like every single mini mall you went to? What happened to yogurt stores?
What about that one we went to in LA? I swear it was like run by Russians.
It was a Russian front.
Oh, yeah, it totally was. Because it was open till 2 a.m. And
sometimes we didn't even pay. We're just like, hello?
Yeah.
We're just like, guys, we want to pay for this.
And the girls would come out, the Russian girls.
And they were smoking hot.
Yes. Yes. And they were really, really pretty. And we would go and get yogurt with our friend Matt. And we had punch passes.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're just like, well, whatever. And
like, you had a couple more? And they just punch them? And then we had our free cards and we're like, guys, we have a free card. And like, we left like $1 or we left money. I'm like, all right, see. I'm like, this is definitely not a yogurt store.
It's totally for something else.
But they had great yogurt.
Oh, so good. And we would go there after like going out, or Matt, if we were just like watching reality TV, yeah. Matt, and then it was Matt, his brother, you and I. And
this was way before kids. Yeah. We lived in LA. But remember, I remember TCBY took off. Remember TCBY yogurt?
I didn't like it as much.
But then there were every single corner mini mall had a yogurt store. What happened to yogurt stores? I don't know what made me think of that.
Do we have one over here where we're at? I can't even think. I know we got a Dairy Queen.
I don't even know where there's a yogurt store. Like right now, if you told me, where's a yogurt shop? I have no idea.
Yeah. I think because maybe we're in the burbs. It's like you got Stone
That's
Cold.
where you put yogurt shops. What do you put yogurt shops in the inner city?
We were in the city in LA and they were everywhere. Or maybe they were just like.
No, we weren't in the inner city. What are you talking about?
We were in the city. I mean, Santa Monica, it's busy. It's LA.
Yeah, we're going to go get some Mickey's Big Mouth's malt liquor and then get some TCBY next door. What are you talking about? What kind of inner city are you thinking of?
I don't know. And then street tacos. Always the street tacos.
All right. What are you talking about, street tacos?
Street tacos down Wilshire Boulevard.
Yeah. How does that fit into the conversation?
Because they're good. All right, let's go.
Hey, are you sure? What's in there? Are you drinking? All right. We're ending just abruptly before we get on another topic. All right. Ready? Be yourself. Life is precious as it is. All the elements for your happiness are already here. There is no need to run, strive, search, or struggle. Just be. Just be. The B in TCBY.
Bye, guys.